We're at the Bitcoin Amsterdam week. What's so special about this day?
Well, to me, this is a collection of great thinkers, of great technologists coming together to talk about things they love, things that will change the world.
And how will Bitcoin change the world?
Bitcoin is the greatest opportunity for the distribution of wealth the world has ever seen and probably will ever see. Bitcoin's been a transactional thing for quite some time. A few months ago, this new technology, ordinal theory, was discovered that is, I think, going to open Bitcoin up to a new category of people who weren't necessarily buying Bitcoin as a store of value, but people who are looking to buy Bitcoin as digital assets, as collectibles. So I find this exciting technology for a number of reasons. I think it's going to change the world for a number of reasons, because ultimately we need transparency. We need to live in a trustless world, and that's what Bitcoin is.
We're at Bitcoin Amsterdam today. What brings you here?
I thought I would come and see just what the scene is. I was in Singapore at Token 2049 last month, so the mood there was really upbeat, was really bullish. So I wanted to come to Europe and see, what the mood was here, because I think judging sentiment in the industry is a good way of kind of seeing which direction we're headed in. And I think sentiment is really kind of improving. Okay, if you look at the charts, if you look at prices, it's kind of flat, it's kind of sideways, and places like crypto Twitter are kind of dead at the moment. But it's really nice to come to an event like this, and you're reminded just how many people are building stuff, what cool stuff is being worked on. So I just wanted to come and see the crypto community in real life.
Hi, we're here at the Bitcoin Amsterdam week. What brings you here?
Well, I've been in Bitcoin for 7 years now. I hold some Bitcoin. I have a podcast, and I had done a Bitcoin series interviewing some of the coolest people in the space. Nice. I also have an agency, and I'm not working with Bitcoin company directly, but lots of like Web3. I was just talking to some people here, like normal people, and they say Bitcoin is a big deal, but it's going to take long. And that is a very interesting take. I think we are in a bear market, but I'm quite surprised. There are lots of people attending. The main stage is packed, and that's great. And we are in Amsterdam.
In a bear market, eh?
Exactly, and we are in a bear market. And I think there are lots of people with different views on ordinals, which is kind of like controversial, but in a way helped the Bitcoin ecosystem to thrive. Like building on Bitcoin, it really added more people coming in the space. So I think it's a good event. It's raining, and the conference is packed. So yeah. I think we are definitely standing still, right?
We're not going anywhere.
Exactly, we are not going anywhere.
What brings you here?
Hey, my name is Fabian. I'm here because I think, the market is down, but the excitement is still high. There's a lot of people that really believe in this technology and the potential, and I just wanted to check that out. So I'm one of the volunteers, wanted to contribute a little bit to it, and just conversations, people, good vibes, to be honest.
Hey, I'm standing here at Citaris. What does Citaris do?
So Citaris is basically a energy company that mines green Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bitcoin mining, good, bad for the environment?
Bitcoin mining is usually bad for the environment because it's using, one, too much energy, and second, the energy is coming from coal mining or nuclear energy, which is not good for the environment at all. But we are putting a new perspective into this idea and trying to change it and try to give a new perspective to the world.
Good day. I'm here with
Yegor, YD.
Okay.
It's my nickname in crypto.
Okay, and how long have you been in crypto, Yegor?
6 years. Yeah, it's a long journey. I started with Bitcoin, was like close to 5,000, and I buy it. Then I start learning more, then I start educate people in Ukraine, do trading, do investing, and then work in tier 1 company. And
which company is that?
It was BINANCE and Trust Wallet. Okay. So for now, I want to build something for the community, for the ecosystem, for the whole blockchain area.
Why are you here?
I started to invest into crypto since I studied in...
Oh, watch out for them.
Yeah. Since I went to study IT in Germany, and we had a module where we learned about blockchain technology, and it kind of fascinated me that it's a way better way to keep your value of the money than fiat.
Guys, we're at the Bitcoin Amsterdam week.
Yeah.
What is so significant about Bitcoin?
It could be the future of money, and it's definitely a technological currency which offer many different services and many different kind of thinking. And I think with all conferences and all talks, we can really see how deep could it be, and we see what use cases could be provided, from lightning with micropayments to drive chains with deep technology, with economic, and very curious to see Edward Snowden, at least in Visio, to talk about them and what he has to do and what he has to say.
Okay, so it's like a new financial revolution, actually.
Yeah, you have finally something how you can store your value without inflation, and I think that's quite important that we have something like that without centralization or someone
I'm fine. Please continue.
who is interrupting. Yeah, it's peer-to-peer.
Okay, so you said something about ordinals. That's like, for people who don't know, it's Bitcoin decentralized finance, NFTs and stuff like that. So smart contracts on Bitcoin, if I'm...
Yeah, so
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I think it was very interesting. There was a panel before, and they basically said very clearly, so ordinals are digital artifact on Bitcoin, where NFTs are digital certificate on Ethereum, for example. So if you think about a piece of art, which is not really inscribed on a blockchain, but it's just pointed by a digital certificate, which is what is an NFTs, where on ordinals you can actually inscribe the digital art on the blockchain itself. So definitely adds an extra layer of, I would say, security, but also can really bring new opportunity for digital art as well, because you are actually taking the digital art and put it on the blockchain. So we will see where we go. I mean, for now it's like lots of education, and people still need to get what ordinance is. It's kind of like a niche in the niche of Bitcoin, but it's great. It's great to see so much excitement as well by the community.
Do you also have an opinion on Bitcoin and the future of this?
I do think it's like beautiful in its simplicity. That's just like the rewards, they work for themselves. And it started as such a small thing, but like even here it gets so many people together. So I think it's here to stay. I'm curious to see what shape it has. I do hold some Bitcoin. I believe in it enough to put some of my fiat into it and convert into it. So I think, I think it's part of the future, whatever the future will be.
And what is it you're doing now specifically? Is it something Bitcoin related or crypto or some kind of other app?
I'm more interested in, not on this conference, but in Ethereum and Ton by Telegram. I saw a lot of perspective that we can build with smart contracts and etc. Bitcoin is also interesting. Bitcoin is like the main coin. It's like the first one, and it's also a religion. So we believe in it. We believe in to the moon. We try to do something with ordinals and etc. But all what you need to do with Bitcoin is spend it and hold it. Delen.
You also invested in Bitcoin?
Partially, yes, but I'm actually more invested into Avalanche. Since,
Avalanche, AVAX, yeah.
Yeah, because okay, you don't have that much decentralization and security, but it's built up from 3 chains, P, C, and X. The X is actually not a blockchain; it's a DAG. So therefore, you have scalability. The C chain is from the name smart contracts, so you have the security. And P, what I like really a lot about the P chain is because they have subnets, so you have way more adoption because you have more. These subnets are actually also blockchains, and you can make. It's way better for jurisdictional differences. So the adoption can be in every country depending on what regulations they have.
You know anything about on-chain analysis?
Yeah, more or less. I received recently a new website which is using Node RPC to fetch data, and with very interesting data. I can send you a link if you want, if you are interested. Nice. It's a very good URL website, which is very basic. You can donate to him. It's like individual open source, and the goal is really to provide easy, accessible information and data about global blockchain, not about specific wallets, but about the global data on Bitcoin. We see the number of transactions. We see the number of transactions from the beginning of the year. How many it takes so far now? The proof of work, the evolution of difficulty mining, and many other stuffs. Very deep about the global Bitcoin network.
The way that you talk, it seems like you're a maximalist. Is this true?
I'm not. I mean, I have to tell you, the only assets I hold is Bitcoin. But I'm not a maximalist in the sense that I think for experimentation and for actually an ecosystem to thrive, you need experimentation. So if you are a maximalist, you cut out lots of opportunities. So I'm kind of open-minded, but when it comes down to my money, I only have Bitcoin. Yeah.
You do own Bitcoin. Do you also have other altcoins, other coins that you have your eye on?
My portfolio is, I think, 60% Bitcoin, 40% Ethereum. Very conservative in that sense, hardly any altcoins. Like I've tested the waters a bit, but I stick to the ones, the fundamentals that I think they've proven themselves. So yeah, that's at least my approach to it.
Okay, so how much does one Bitcoin miner consume compared to X amount of households?
Too much. I don't know the specific numbers, but way too much.
And what is the solution that you guys offer?
Okay, so two of our co-founders have a big investment portfolio that have tons of projects containing solar power plants. And we have greenhouses, which we install solar power plants on top of them. We're going to use one of them, which is like 20 megawatt power, which is extremely huge. And then we're going to install two containers that contains Bitcoin miners inside the greenhouse. And then we're going to get the energy that's been generated by the solar power plants and mine Bitcoin with that. And as you know, the heat that's been coming from the Bitcoin miners are always wasted, and we're not going to waste that too. We're going to give it to the cucumbers and the potatoes inside the greenhouse.
Okay.
So yeah, zero waste, all green.
No more waste.
No more waste. No more waste. We're changing it all.
Except from Bitcoin, are there other altcoins like Ethereum or some ton instead of that? What other altcoins do you look at? And what makes a good altcoin a good altcoin?
It's tough questions, but like I have a large portfolio, so my strategy is as possible diversified. But the main one is Bitcoin, of course, because it's like a digital gold. It's things that will grow, and I use it daily with card of some exchange.
So you spend your Bitcoin?
I spend Bitcoin every day. I live for Bitcoin, so like
nice.
I have more cryptos than fiat in my pocket.
Oh, that's good to hear. You said subnets, P-chain, you can launch your own blockchain. Why don't we launch Bitcoin on the Avalanche subnet chain? That would make it go faster, quicker, time to finality. What is your take on this?
Good question, but I don't think you can do that because it's still on the Avalanche chain. You want to build a Bitcoin blockchain. It's still the same Avalanche chain.
And what do you think about the central bank's digital currency?
It's interesting. I can say what it will make to the generation and people, but we will see, because it's two ways. It can help us and it can be a present for us. So it's very interesting what government will give us.
So your take on this is to build up a copy of the Bitcoin?
Yes, and put it on top of the subnet of Avalanche because it's quicker, time to finality, cheaper, but you keep all the benefits of the Bitcoin blockchain. The security, decentralization. Would this work in your opinion?
Probably, but I don't think it's going to be that much like. I don't think the Bitcoin maxis are going to like that.
No, of course not. They won't like it. No.
And I'm not sure if you can keep the security.
And DeFi on Bitcoin, because DeFi of Ethereum, the smart contracts, etc., etc. How does this apply to Bitcoin?
It's coming. We don't quite have the infrastructure that applies, but again, ordinal theory is something that's introducing what are called BRC20s. Casey came out with runes recently. There's a lot of fascinating technology that's being developed very quickly. So I think we're seeing it. We're seeing it happening right in front of our eyes.
And what kind of implications do you think of when you have a CBDC and Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is better.
Yeah, in which aspect? How?
Trust to not to the system, but to the technology. And central bank digital coin is good as a technology, but I think not very good for I would say, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
it's like it's controlled by government, so it's a reason why Bitcoin is better.
Yeah, it's your self-sovereignty.
Yeah. Non-custodial wallet. You your own bank. You don't need be central bank digital coin on your bank account. You just need some crypto in your wallet.
Other coins, alts that you're looking at? Because you said you don't own Bitcoin, but smart contracts and like the development of the ecosystem.
Yeah, I only hold Bitcoin, but I'm open-minded, as I said. For instance, on my podcast, I interview different kind of projects. So I think I'm curious to see what people are building and what they are adding to the space. But I mean, Ethereum is struggling at the moment with the proof of stake and many other blockchain. Some they are struggling, some they are, taking different direction. I mean, the one that is here is solid and, is Bitcoin. So
yeah. It has proven itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. CBDCs. What do CBDCs offer and what are the restrictions of a CBDC?
Well, I don't have too much of an opinion on it, to be honest. Like I know that they're in development. I know that they are controlled, which is also bringing some issues with them, but I'm not deeply enough involved to really have a strong opinion about it, I have to say.
Okay, and the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You sound like very enthusiastic about Bitcoin. What would the price be, let's say, the next stop of the next run? And over 10 years?
I mean, over 10 years, I'd like to see it get to 150 grand. I think the next run we'll probably see it get to around 90, 110, thereabouts.
So in 10 years, 150 grand?
I mean, yeah, probably.
That's a little bit conservative, don't
It's a bit conservative. I like to live on the safe side.
Better say than sorry.
And what do you think about the sentiment here compared to Singapore then?
It's a little quieter. I mean, the Singapore conference was massive, like 10,000 people. So this is obviously a bit more small scale. It's obviously Bitcoin focused, but there's still like a really good atmosphere. Like Bitcoiners are awesome. There's a lot of positivity around. So it's great to see.
And you say you spend crypto and have a non-custodial wallet. Are these the same app you use for this, or how do you keep your Bitcoin safe and how do you spend your Bitcoin?
Like most Bitcoins that I hold, it's on a physical device, like wallet, and money that I spend every day, I keep it on exchange. It's not a good advice, but I keep it on exchange to spend every day. So yeah, I use this strategy.
Okay, then I have one last question. Who is this guy?
This is Gary Gensler.
Always losing.
Always losing. So they give out some of the masks. I think it's the Magic Eden booth it was.
Yeah.
He's not very much liked in the crypto community for different reasons. I'm familiar with him, but also not familiar enough to have a really strong opinion or go too much into detail. I think he's a bit inconsistent in what he says, but don't quote me on it.
Yeah, I know, because he was a professor also, he was preaching Bitcoin, and now suddenly he turned 180, he's against Bitcoin, like fighting it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how to go much deeper into it. So it seems like you're smarter than me in that sense.
We need to replace him, that's for sure. And how do you see competition?
Competition? There's no competition.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm asking.
No
I'm
one
not
actually
in the market,
does.
so.
Yeah, there's like one booth too that does green mining, but ours is uncomparably big. We do it like 20 megawatts, and it's going to expand to 250 megawatts in 2027 or 2026.
Okay.
So it's going to. We have the solar power plants, which we are just going to get the miners, but first we are testing whether, air cooling is better, liquid is better, hydro is better. We're all testing it out.
Okay.
So we'll find out.
But you say also alts. Any other blockchains, coins, instead of AVAX, Avalanche? What about meme coins? Do these ring a bell? Peppa, Shiba?
I don't like that. It's for the people that want to make fast money. It's not my...
You guys know anything about the CBDCs that are going to launch? What is your take on CBDCs? I don't know.
What is the question about CBDCs?
What do you feel about the government implementing a CBDC? What kind of effect would this have on our life?
It's a big risk. They take the privacy. They can track every transaction, and they can also block anything. They can also introduce that you are not allowed to social credit or something like that. That you are not allowed to spend your money for I don't know, for planes or something, because it's bad for the environment and stuff. So yeah, they get a lot of power to control people, and that's very risky. So I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely the Chinese model could be here, and the Chinese control model could be happened with this, and we have to take care about what blockchain is and what we want to do with blockchain. Because blockchain is a technology, as internet, as databases, as language, as a computer language. So what do we want to do with this? Like, we have this technology, we are responsible of what we are doing now, but how about tomorrow?
I know you also speak a lot about the central bank and digital currencies. What do you think about this?
Well, I guess there was a really interesting panel on them earlier, and I mean, they're inevitable. That's the thing, and they will be introduced in very kind of underhanded ways. So I think the thing to look out for is the next big crisis. And that will be the opportunity for a lot of governments to introduce this technology, make it so that people can't do business, can't get by without it, and people will adopt it for the convenience, and before you know it, that's how it will be. So we've got to be aware of it, because I think they're starting to realise that you can't just impose them on people, because people don't want them, they're not interested. But they will find a way, and convenience will be the way in, I think. So we've got to watch out, because that's how they'll do it.
And what is important for you when you invest? Let's say you want to keep your wealth or build wealth. What are you looking for in a coin?
Long term, it has to be something useful in the future, long term. If it builds up, if it helps something in real life.
Is there any way someone could protect themselves from this?
Buy Bitcoin.
And what does the future of Bitcoin hold? Let's say in 10 years from now, what would the price be? What would the hash rate be? What would the network effect be?
I was just saying before to these two people, if you can have one Bitcoin, not many, just buy one Bitcoin and keep it, you're going to be a rich person.
And what is rich? Can you define rich? I need a number.
Oh, well, it's not, I mean, it could go to 1 million. I think that for the majority of people, that will mean rich, right? And then there are people that, they want 100 million, which is fine. But I think just get one Bitcoin if you can. And just keep it. And that will be a smart move for your retirement, for your future. I mean, we are going to live until 100 years. So.
You think you're going to live till 100 years?
I think maybe the majority of our age, people in their 30s, maybe they are going to definitely be above the 90s.
And do you think this is because of the technological advances like AI and stuff like that?
I think it's also because there is more awareness about keeping yourself fit, so what you eat. I mean, there are trucks here, but maybe they're healthy trucks, but people are more cautious about what they eat, how they exercise, and also obviously medicine as well, which, as you mentioned, AI is definitely adding more value to that. But there is, in general, more awareness about, how to keep yourself fit, healthy. And exactly.
And what is Avalanche's future proof? What did they promise for us to deliver in the future?
Well, actually, it's trying to solve the blockchain trilemma, which is why they have the exactly.
Speed, if I'm correct, transparency.
Other blockchains that I also like is Kronos.
That's
from
the crypto.com, yeah?
Exactly. They just launched a Web3 game, Main City. They have also ZK rollups, which
Kronos.
is yes.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Without actually, if I'm not sure, but I think they do the roll-ups without layer 2.
Okay, that's for people at home who don't know what a CK rollups are or CK whatever. It's some kind of iteration.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's ask in the comments. It's some iteration on the blockchain that keeps on evolving. to keep it like sensorless, right? Or like privacy, more privacy enhanced.
It's actually for reducing the fees.
Ah, okay. So what do you think the price of Bitcoin could be in a couple of years?
In a couple of years, I think there's a few events that make people very bullish. So like the ETFs, whenever they really come around. And then I think in April, the next halving is happening. So I think in the next 2 years, it could go back to a level to where it was before, right? Like 60, maybe up to 70K. I do think it's still gonna take a while to crack 100. But on the other hand, people do say the next bull run could be around as early as next year. So I'm not so good with speculation. It always comes differently, but I do believe it's going to go up in the long run. So I do think it makes sense to put a certain amount into it if you believe into it. Obviously, no financial advice. Do your own research, as always. But I believe enough in it to invest some of mine.
And let's talk about something, carbon credits. You know these carbon credits? Do you think in the future carbon credits are going to be side by side with Bitcoin mining, the way that the Bitcoin has been mined?
Supposedly yes. Supposedly yes. The way that people mine Bitcoin should change because it's not good at all and it's creating too much attention. And I think blockchain overall is a good thing for the world, and crypto coin certainly is a good thing for the world, because if I want to transfer money to the other side of the world, I cannot do it with a bank transfer too easily. But with Bitcoin, it's very easy. So I think it's a very good thing for the world, whole world. And the way that we mine Bitcoin should change. And with this, we're starting that. I don't think no one ever has done it. So it's a new perspective to the idea, and we're going to expand it as much as we can.
What do you do, if I may ask? What is your job?
I'm currently a student, but I'm also looking for a job. Recently, I'm starting to look for full stack development.
Okay, and it has to be in the blockchain, or doesn't have to be in the blockchain?
I'm trying to find a job in blockchain technology. There are not so many, so it's kind of hard, but maybe.
Okay, yeah, man, I wish you good luck, man. Were you involved in FTX?
No. I was bullish on Solana, since Solana was at $10. But then, after FTX, I don't know. And right now, I know that Solana super team want to create a hub in Amsterdam, so they try to build something good for the community, for people, for developers, special terms. So Solana, it's still a good realization of how you can send very cheap and very fast transaction all around the world. So it's not a Ethereum killer, but it's a good blockchain if it's usable.
So we're at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah.
Would you consider you two as Bitcoin maximalists? Or do you also invest in alts or look at alts?
That's a good question.
So I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but I'm not a hardliner. So I'm not fuck them all, just Bitcoin. I think it's still important to get more knowledge into the space in general. So we just talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
But the bad part of it is that all the other altcoins get the developers, because there's lots of money. So the Bitcoin developers have to decide: do I code for something good, or do I go to the money? Do I get some money?
Yeah.
So it's hard, but I'm a Bitcoin maximalist because
it's the future.
It's the nature. Yeah, it's the future. We don't need the other things, but there's still experiments. So, but why aren't there experiments? So it's okay that they're out there.
I see you thinking.
Yeah, because me, I have a sentence which I like. It's Bitcoin minimalist. Yeah, because it's the only powerful store of value that we have. But under the hood, we have the blockchain technology, and it should be considered differently regarding the value, but more as a way to transfer technology, a way to transfer data, store data, manage data, etc. And this is not the purpose of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin should stay a store of value, and I'm really happy to have Bitcoin maximalist in this ecosystem. And I think with Bitcoin maximalist, Bitcoin will never go to zero. So I'm zero risk for me.
We're happy they're here. Because if Bitcoin drops, the whole market's going to go down, yeah?
Yes, but we know that it will never happen to zero.
If Bitcoin fails, everything fails.
Yeah, I think
It couldn't reach
I
zero.
like to say it. The moon is gonna explode before Bitcoin goes to zero. And I don't think the moon is gonna explode.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Any last words for the people looking at home? Advice? I don't know. Can be anything.
If you wanna stay away from CBDCs and keep your privacy safe and your money, then invest into Bitcoin. It's the safest choice.
You heard it correctly.
Is there one last message or thing you want to say to the people at home?
Guys, out here in the wild with the Bitcoiners, the mood is great, even if the weather isn't. So keep calm and hodl on.
Do you have any last words, words of advice for people looking at home? What they could do, should be doing?
Right, I need to be careful about advice because, you know, all these things, but I would say just be curious and explore what is out there. And, you know, crypto and Bitcoin is not all bad. It's definitely something that is worth exploring.
Okay. Well, guys, you heard it first. Do your own research. Okay, guys, this is take 2 with Vlad again. What's up, Vlad? What's up?
I'm really happy to be here at the Bitcoin conference in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Nice, nice. Anything you want to add? Some information?
Actually, yeah, Bitcoin is the best currency, has the highest market cap, but even though I'm surrounded by Bitcoin maxis, I'm trying to learn a lot more about cycle analysis and on-chains. I'm actually an Avalanche fan and Kronos. What is fun about Avalanche is because it is built up from 3 chains. X chain is the exchange, and it's actually not a blockchain, it's a DAG. The P chain has subnets which can create more blockchains, and the C chain is for smart contracts, which provides security.
Not financial advice, of course, but what are 3 must-have crypto projects that you need to have in your portfolio for the upcoming run?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ton.
Ton?
Ton is very perspective.
Why Ton? It's I think it's top 10 coin, top 15 or something like that,
Yeah.
suddenly. Why the sudden surge in price? What happened?
It's a cryptocurrency of the Telegram Messenger. So they have a huge adoption for people. They have a big auditory of people, and it's early stage. So they try to build smart contracts for it. They try to launch an NFT, some staking, some DeFi, GameFi. It's all possible in a wallet and in a Telegram, in a Messenger. So Telegram is more popular in my country and in Asia, but it's like if WhatsApp have their own coin with utility, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's some kind of decentralized social media interaction coin with own stable coin,
It's
something
still
like that.
usable. It's still usable. You can just send to your contact through Telegram any amount of money, Bitcoin, USDT, or Ton. So that's good.
Oh shit, I didn't know this. We have to check out Ton, not financial advice.
Yeah.
What is, in your opinion, why Avalanche is gonna make a difference in the future of digitalization?
Because I think it can solve the blockchain trilemma. It solves all the 3, in my opinion. Some people may not agree, but that's my take on it.
Any last words, some kind of advice for people watching at home?
Besides buy Bitcoin,
Not financial advice.
educate about Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Educate
read, and really, if I have one message that I want to give, it do research, but research in every level. You are teacher in the university, you are a professor, do research about Bitcoin. You are a citizen, do research about Bitcoin. You are everything you want, do research about Bitcoin and try to publish it like you do with your media and things like that. Thank you very much to you to have invited us.
Thank you, thank you.
Very important.
Okay, so you think Avalanche right now, not financial advice, but it's a buy?
It's about $9 to $10 right now. The support is not that strong. It might fall to 5 or 6, but starting to DCA in might be a good idea, my opinion.
And what kind of take profits target would you put, Signals?
This is really hard. It's not a good thing to say, but It could reach the all-time high from last time, maybe even higher, but it depends on the risk of every buyer. So if you want to buy at 10 and sell at 50,
it's up to you.
Yeah.
Do you have a last message, tip of advice, word of advice? Can be anything.
Yeah, I mean, like just meet people, network. It's a small community. I'm interested in potentially seeing if there's some working opportunities there. The industry has not been around for too long, right? So I think it's one of those industries that's not so old that it takes really long to become an expert. So pick an area, find something that interests you, and then become an expert in it. And I think you can contribute and be part of a great community.
So you think all-time high, but no further than all-time high?
Me personally, I'm gonna sell also before.
You're gonna sell before the all-time high?
Yeah, the investment.
Okay, you're gonna take your initial investment out and you're gonna leave the rest to fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what do you think is gonna be the parabolic price target for Avalanche in upcoming run? Let's say Bitcoin goes to 200,000, 300,000.
It has a lot of competitors, the Solana, Cardano. It's really hard to say. Maybe if Bitcoin reaches 200K, which is unlikely, maybe 200, 300.
Okay. What do you think that the price of Bitcoin would be in like a couple of years? Let's say 10 years. If let's say it's going to be the new form of energy.
In a year, I suppose $150,000 in next year summer.
150 next year summer? Because of the halving and the Bitcoin dilemma?
Yeah, it's going to half of it, yeah. In 10 years, it should be like $1 million.
Yeah?
Because the halving is going to be way too low, so you should react to that.
Okay.
But I don't know the specific number.
No, we're just asking people.
I should calculate it. I shouldn't just say it from on top of my head. If I do the calculations, I can give you a specific number, but right now I can say...
No, but no one knows, so it's on top of the head is perfectly fine. Yeah?
But the halving, you can't predict it.
Okay, and then final question. What is the real world use case of Avalanche?
Well, actually, every currency has the same usage. It depends just the merchants, and the merchants want most time a coin that has store value. In this case, it's basically just Bitcoin.
Okay. So you heard it, guys and girls, buy Bitcoin. Any last words, some kind of advice, mistakes you've made?
It's a hard time for us. It's a long beer winter. But we will pass it, and it will be a bright, good, bull future.
Any last words, Vlad?
Yeah, if you want to stay away from CBDCs and have self-custody, you could buy Bitcoin, not financial advice.
You said it perfectly fine. When do you think the bull run is going to start? Just that doesn't have to be precise.
It's not advice, and I don't predict, but after the halving.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what is the price prediction for the upcoming top for Bitcoin?
I hope, personally, that all the all-time high will higher.
Yeah?
I hope so.